What's up, y'all? Happy New Year. We're back.
We're
I don't know if
finally.
anybody missed us or not, but I feel like they have.
Well, we have one viewer, so we're killing it.
Yes, that person is my
That
favorite.
person missed.
We got two people that missed us. Just to let you know, we're gonna keep racking them up. But man, I hope you guys had a good Christmas, Happy New Year. It's good to be back. We had to take a little hiatus and focus. With the end of last year being a little bit wonky. Yep. He's happy now. If it could have went way different for Caesar being happy right now, so we're gonna take it.
We're gonna take it.
Caesar. Oh, if you're just jumping on, say what's up. Let us know you're here, and please share this out. Let people know we're back on. And then there's our number one.
Happy New Year, Rachel.
Hey Caesar, you want to read that clarity statement for me?
Oh man, I forgot all about that thing.
Same clarity statement, different year. It's crazy.
The Hope Shot clarity statement. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common. Recovery is a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. And thank you for being a part of our Hope Shot family.
Thanks, Caesar. I don't know if it's the new year or something, man, but or maybe it's you. Maybe it's the win that you got. I don't know what it is, but it sounds different. It sounds more clear, if it makes sense. I got more clarity out of it.
There was way more clarity in that clarity statement.
Yeah, something was hitting right, All right, man. Well, we have let's say what's up some people. Hey, Rachel. A1 since day one. That's right. If you guys just jumping on, say what's up. And then tonight we're gonna talk a little bit about the home front, something that we all been focused on this past since the hurricanes hit. Everybody's been focusing on homes. But the home front, man, bringing recovery home. Where we're bringing this stuff back to, we go to these meetings, we go and meet with these groups. We do the 9890. We're out here, immersed in recovery, especially the beginning of recovery. We're just, soaking it all up. And then we're bringing it back so we can be better people at home and be better people for the ones that we love. And so we're going to be hitting on those aspects. And who wants to go first? Okay, go.
So, what up, Steve? All right. Why did you guys both mute, man? That's fucked up.
I'm trying to make Rachel not lonely.
All right. So, no, this is a super important topic, especially, this time of the year. I don't know about y'all, but I am grateful that holidays are past. It was beautiful. It was, special, but man, I get out of sorts with work, and it's cool to get back. And so bringing recovery home. I remember when I got sober, my entire family dynamic was crippled. It was non-existent, and naturally, all I wanted to do was, have it be back to what in my head was normal, where, I could be trusted and, I would be welcomed and it took a lot of work and a lot of time, for some of those pieces to fall into place, because the damage I had caused in my immediate family was very severe, and not only that, but like I had different ideas when I went to jail and surrendered for the last time. My mom was alive. I still had hope to reunite with my daughters, and within my first year of treatment, um, my mom passed. My daughters were adopted, and my whole idea of what my family was going to be was shook and altered. And for the first time, though, I didn't use it as an excuse to go get loaded. I use it as motivation to dig my heels in, um, you know work harder, and for once in my life to honor these beautiful people I had in my life, whether they were there or not, in a different way. So, and through this process, through the years, I have been blessed 1,000 times over, in regards to family. But it really started with you know the fellowship, because the fellowship, for the first time, I was welcomed and embraced and loved, despite my defects, and despite all my shortcomings, and through work with a sponsor, I was and going through the steps, I was able to identify my role, my part, in this family dynamic that basically I was the center of, and my actions had caused this just like paralyzing ripple effect, and everybody was harmed or slighted in some semblance, so but for the first time, I accepted responsibility, and I went out and I made amends. And through that process, and through consistently showing up, I was welcomed back into my family, and I was able to, for the first time ever, bring something to the table, instead of coming in wondering what I could get, or what what they were going to give me. I was wondering, what could I bring to them? What could I offer this family that loved and supported me unconditionally when I so did not deserve it, right? And that's one of the miracles of this program is, in the literature that I got sober with, the whole damn book's about relationships. First it's figuring out the relationship with myself. Then it's discovering a relationship with a higher power. The relationships I form in the fellowship are my vehicle to get to that higher power, and to get to that better understanding of, what a true relationship is. And yeah, and through the years, I get to learn how to be a part of, again, I get to learn how to be a part of a fellowship. I get to learn how to be a part of a family. I get to learn how to be a part of friendships, how to be an employee, how to, all our whole life is based on relationships. And what I've discovered is that if I am prioritizing the most important relationship in my life, which is with my higher power, then from that connection, from that power, all other things become possible, whether it's relationship with my family, relationship with my fiance, relationship with my friends, because in this journey, like what I used to be able to settle for or be okay with no longer fits. It's not conducive, you know. I'm not in the business of hurting people today. So um, yeah, I believe the things I have learned through this process and the relationship I've built with my higher power and the practice I've had has, you know, guided me into a position to where I can show up selflessly today, and I can bring something to each relationship dynamic that I am a part of. Um, I can still be selfish. I could still be self-centered, but that is not my default today. Today, my default is what can I bring to the occasion? You know, how can I, you know, be a light and like a huge like learning curve. Talking about bringing recovery home. You know, I was in this relationship I'm in right now. The way I approached it in the beginning, I had a lot to learn about what it meant to be in an intimate relationship with another woman, um, and I guess that's what we do, right? We grow up in public here. We learn, you know, how to show up as men of integrity and character, and sometimes we have to bump our head against the wall and yeah, I always say that it would be cool once I get to a point where, you know, pain isn't the greatest persuader. Like I don't have to be beaten into submission. Like how I came into, you know, recovery was I had to be completely broken, desperate, pathetic, and beaten in order to like maybe give this thing a chance. And what I've discovered through the years is that, you know, every situation, whether it's a, you know, relationship within my immediate family and my personal relationships, you know, it takes a lot of, you know, pain and uncomfortability for me to, you know, make the shifts I need to start to evolve, to, you know, continue to seek to be, you know, a better partner, a better friend, a better brother, better son, whatever the case might be. But like through this process, through this recovery journey, without without prioritizing my most important relationship with my higher power, nothing is possible. And I like your dance moves, and it's just as relevant as it is today to remain to keep that consistent connection with my higher power allows me to perform that much better in each relationship dynamic that I am a part of. You know, the more I get disconnected or apart from that relationship, it immediately, you know, affects all areas of my life, but first and foremost, the ones at home, you know, because I could be, you know, I was just talking to another friend in the program about this on Friday. I'm like, if you want to take a really close look at your character defects, you know, being an intimate relationship, I get to discover all kinds of quirks and codependent idiosyncrasies and all these different things I didn't know I had, you know, until, you know, you get so close to somebody that, you know, you love unconditionally, and then you start to discover all types of things about yourself. But the beautiful thing is that I have a partner today that's willing to do the work right alongside me. And when that occurs, then you know, some really cool magic can happen. And I've been, you know, blessed with the ability to have you know, a God-fearing spiritual partner that is always willing to, you know, do the work just the same as I. And because, you know, through our growing pains and through our journey, you know, the moment that we prioritized God as our main relationship, you know, our relationship was finally able to come together and align and thrive. I have a tendency to make other people my higher power, and I have a tendency to, you know, yeah, just I never knew. I had no experience, you know. I never been, you know, in a relationship with kids and with a family, and you know, paying bills and the everyday, you know, I have no frame of reference, no experience with these things. So fortunately, we have just this beautiful program, and I have this awesome intimate relationship with my higher power that I, you know, try to enlarge and enrich on a daily basis through prayer, meditation, fellowship, working with others. And, you know, through the years, I just get closer and closer to, yeah, to what I believe to be like an ideal, you know, individual that is capable of being in a relationship, and not not looking to take from it, not needing that relationship to define me, not, you know, needing anything but wanting to, you know, be with that other person, or wanting to spend time with my dad, wanting to be close to my brother, but not for what they can provide me, but for what I can possibly bring to them. You know, I spent a lot of years taking. So to me, relationships today, when I bring them home, you know, it has to be, you know, what am I doing to make this relationship better? And through this program, through this process, you guys have shown me uh, like how to be a good man, a good husband, a good brother, a good son, and for that I'm forever grateful. Thank you.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm playing around with backgrounds. I need to stop doing this.
Yeah.
I was playing around with backgrounds. Dan, yeah, Caesar. What you got on this, man? What you got on
You need me to jump in because you were busy messing with backgrounds and sending us through space?
Yeah.
Listen, I was doing other things too, but then I get back to backgrounds, and now I'm here. So you know what?
I'm happy.
Listen, Rudolph, all he hears is more piano. So I don't know. Nathan,
Rudolph's
you want to
never going to let go. He's never letting go of the piano. The background is giving a galaxy far, far away.
That's right.
Well, so I like this. We talk about this a lot in my Monday night group about practicing our recovery in our own homes, because I don't care what anyone says, that's the hardest place to practice this, is with the people you're most comfortable around. It's easy to be, watch my air quotes, a recovery guru on the screen and in the 1 hour meeting. But, you know, our literature says practice these principles in all of our affairs. And that includes when I get home, when I'm tired at night, when I've been working all day, and, you know, those times that I can be not so spiritual. So early in recovery, you know, it's obvious that my home is where I did the most damage, and that's what needs the most work. And when I'm new and I'm excited about all this, you know, I'm like going to meetings, and I jumped into meetings and service work and looking for a job. And what seemed so obvious was the one thing that was lacking. Was like, hey, when I was out using and drinking, I was never home. Now I'm sober and I'm at meetings and service commitments and all this other stuff, and I'm never home. So how did that make things any better for my family? It didn't. And I had to stop being so selfish. Yes, I had to put my recovery first and build a good base, but I didn't have to say yes to everything. I didn't have to take every single commitment that somebody needed someone at. And my sponsor is the one that pointed it out to me. He's like, if you're not going to your meeting, I was on foot. He's like, if you're not walking to your meeting, if you're not walking to probation, and you're not looking for a job, if you're not doing those things, your ass needs to be at the house because this is my ex now, but my girlfriend at the time, the mother of my kid, while you've been locked up, while you've been in rehab, while you've been in prison, all these things, she's been holding the house down. She don't need you. So you're a guest. You need to act like a guest when you get back in there. Maybe vacuum the house up, maybe make dinner, maybe do something to be of value to that house other than sleep there. And I was like, oof, okay, yeah. And I took it to heart and I did those things, and it made things better. But as time goes on and our recovery gets better and our lives get better and our jobs get better and we get more and more responsibilities, it's even more important to double down in the house. Like that's one of the, he's gone. He's gone. But that's one of the things that, like, for my New Year's resolution was to prioritize my family time and not make it something that I fit in between work and the gym, or like, it's not something that should be fit in. It's something that should be a priority to me on a regular basis. And I can have a bad day at work and I can get my ass kicked, but I don't have to act like an a-hole when I get home just because I'm tired. So, the principles don't get left on the front doorstep when I walk inside the house, and I don't get to be a dick in my own house and act like I'm some spiritual great guy all the time. I got to be the same person, public and private. That's the integrity that we try to work in this program, is that we're transparent. What you see is what you get, and I come on here, I'll share where I fall short and I share where things are going great. And it's just, that one has always been tough because the people that you love and that love you most usually get the short end of the stick when it comes to, Nathan, you work in the recovery field. We're pouring out into people all day long, and you get home and there's really no good excuse of why you can't pour into your family, and that's why there has to be some kind of balance maintained. And with my crazy brain, like I gotta work this much, and then I have to go to the gym. It's non-negotiable. And I was talking to Kelly and she's like, man, you miss a lot of stuff. You get off at 5 or 6 o'clock, you run straight to the gym. By the time you're home, it's 8 or 9 o'clock. Everybody's winding down. Like, you missed the dinner time and the hearing about the girls' day and all that stuff. And I don't want to miss that stuff. So if I'm going to be the way I am, then I just got to get up another hour early and do my gym in the morning, because I've got to prioritize that time when the kids get home from school and be there and build that bond and build those relationships. So it goes right back to that early recovery. Like, what am I doing in my own home? That's the test of how good your recovery. What are you like inside your house? Because if I'm really doing this deal and I really want better relationship with my wife, I really want more time with my kids, and I want to be that great dad and all that stuff, it doesn't just happen because I live here. I've got to put the time and effort into it like I do anything else that I want to grow and be better at. So I'm making a commitment this year. Like, that's the deal. Is they're going to get the best of me, not the leftovers, not the I'm tired and I'm going to give you 5 minutes of lip service and then go stare at my phone before I fall asleep. That's not fair to them. So, you can take the topic from being a newcomer and the work you have to put in to earn back the trust and what you can do to make amends in that home, or you can take it as someone who's been around for a long time. And do I need to reevaluate how much time and effort I'm putting into my family when I'm putting all this time and effort into all these other things? What's more important? And for me, what's more important is my family. So it's time to start acting like it. That's basically all I got on it. It's if it's important, I'll act like it's important, and like our gratitude list. If I'm really grateful, I'll act grateful. It's an action word. How am I showing that I'm grateful for this recovery? Am I giving back? Same thing with my family. How am I showing that I'm grateful for my family? By giving back to my family and being there for them.
Yeah, but it is a delicate balance, because I know that, you're taught you need to show up for meetings, you need to show up for your sponsees, you need to, make time for your own sponsor, you need to go to service commitments, and I always say the reason I got sober is so I could experience life as well, and so I could have, these moments and have a family and be a part of that family. And how can I do that if I'm never there? So it was like what I've learned, like, where I used to do 5-6 meetings a week, and and me meeting people all throughout the week, going here out of town, so now I picked my three meetings a week. Sometimes I make 2, if I have not this last Friday, but the Friday prior, the kids were going on a cruise for a week, and Friday night's my home group. And God put it on my heart. He's like, you don't need to be at your home group. You need to be with these kids and spending time with them. And where back in the day, I would, because of what people think, or I felt like, if I don't miss this, if I miss this one meeting, then I'm doing something wrong. I've had I've been blessed to be, in this different fellowship, in this different home group now, to where, I don't get those judgments, so I could just be myself and be comfortable and, make those decisions and prioritize that time with my family. And it's cool to be in that space, because what am I doing on a daily basis, to maintain my sobriety and maintain that connection with my higher power, that relationship, because if I'm doing those things, and then I do have to miss a meeting here and there, I'm already spiritually fit enough to be able to, and it's like that kind of that discernment, how do I, when I know when to, there he is. I know when to go to my nephew's concert. I know when to, to prioritize time with my family. I know when I need to be home, and that's a blessing that I've been given this last year. But then it goes both ways though, because then I can be like, all I want to do is be with my family,
Yeah,
it goes both ways, because then I'll start missing.
Well, and I don't want to give that like as the message, and but there is a balance to all of this.
Yeah.
You can be way too far on one side of the pendulum, and you can be way too far on the other. And, like whatever point I'm at in life, balance is a moving target. I need more of this today, and I need more of that tomorrow. What's balanced today is not balanced tomorrow or yesterday. And, it's ever changing. If I'm going through something, then I need to be in my fellowship, and I need to be grounded in getting into the solution. But if I'm good and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm hitting my few meetings, and I'm talking to people in recovery on a daily basis, then my family needs to be the priority, and it's just, and there, like you said, you can't use it as an excuse. Oh, well, I wanted to be there for dinner tonight, and it was just a Tuesday night, and that's my normal unlock for the meeting, say. I can't use that as an excuse, but we can prioritize. There's home group, there's the other meeting that you want to go to, and there's sponsee and sponsor time. Everything besides that, that's when I'm being selfish. Oh, but my buddy's speaking over here. I want to go there. I want to go there. I want to go there. I want to show you. Then I'm feeding the ego. I'm just being the face of, oh, look at me, Captain Recovery, while while Kelly's sitting at home doing dinner and doing everything else for the kids by herself.
Right.
So I have to be able to discern, and I have to have people that I can talk to and share what's going on in my mind of what sounds like a good idea to me. Is it actually a good idea? And that's why we've got this network of people that we share everything with, because I don't care how long I'm sober or in recovery, I'm still a little batshit crazy up here. What sounds like a great idea in my head may not be a great idea. So I bounce it off other people.
Yeah, and I'll let Justin go because I want to hear Justin's take on this. But you just remind me. Then that's one cool thing about having a tribe, having a fellowship of people, because where I don't know how to operate in a family, I can go to people that I look up to in their marriages and their, and their family dynamics, where and get the guidance and get the suggestions, and take what I want, leave the rest, whatever the case might be. But it's cool to be surrounded by men that have healthy relationships that I can look up to and lean on when things I need to figure stuff out on my end.
Absolutely. What you got, Mr. Justin?
Justin went into he went on the Bifrost into another dimension.
Now we're rolling down the river.
We're just kicking back. We're in the mountains. Going with the flow, right?
Yep.
I was like, what's a good background to even do on this?
That background makes me have to pee, Justin.
Say yes to life.
That's what I wanted to do, Caesar. I guess playing with the backgrounds made me lose my connection.
So, we're talking about family, practicing principles in our own home, importance of giving back to our family, just like we give back to the community. And we'd love to hear what Justin Credible has to say about that.
Justin Credible. I forgot it was like that. Yeah. Look at there. Hey, we're back, baby. Yeah. So, first I want to say that when I first got in recovery, the reason I came here is because I was about to lose the people that were in my family. Like the whole reason I came here was for that reason. A part of it, a part of it was also I was just tired of freaking beating myself against the wall so many times that I was just sick of it, finally got sick of it. But, when I first started coming around the rooms and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try this recovery thing, and I was like, yeah, but I don't want to really do all that. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do this. It's like it just seems like it was a lot, but I never could get it. So doing the 90 meetings in 90 days, that was like the foundation that was laid in the beginning to be able to be where I am today and not be so immersed in the recovery. I was sharing at the meeting the other day that we have levels to this recovery deal. It's like it's levels of life. It's levels of maturing. It's spiritual maturity or emotional maturity, all of it, just all maturity. Pretty much we grow up into this recovery lifestyle, and I had to grow up into myself because I didn't know how to grow up. I was a punk for so long. Yeah, I was a straight punk, And what this thing gave back to me was be able to give it to my family, the ones that got the most brunt of what was going on with Justin. That punk was running around here doing the most harm to the people that cared the most about him, and I couldn't see that. I just wanted to be cool. I just wanted to be this. I just wanted to be that. I wanted to be show off a little bit. I always wanted to be that guy, and it never got me anywhere except for hurt the ones that were so close to me that I really didn't want to hurt in the first place. I just didn't know how to be. I didn't know how to be a human, The one thing I would tell you this though, man, recovery brings it back home. And it's that this Christmas, man, I was able to go visit my cousin, and I was able to do an amends to my mom's side of the family. My mom's not here, and she passed away 2016. From liver failure, from this stuff. We grew up around addiction. We did, it was just, she was suffering as well. So, but she passed away, and I can't make that. I can't give that amends to her because I did do a lot of damage to her too. And it probably caused some of the addictions, who knows, but it didn't cause it. It was the fuel for some of it, I'm sure. And so doing that, and my grandma too, they got the brunt of that. Especially, my grandma, not knowing anything about addiction and stuff like that. And, or maybe she did, I don't know, but, she passed away too. So I was able to go to my family and give that amends and just say, hey, I'm sorry for the stuff that I put, for one thing, their mom through, and then their sister, because that's who they were to them, I might have been their nephew, but and my cousin and stuff, but it's those things that are so important, and it wasn't even like we already knew. Everybody, like, we kind of understood, like, Justin's doing good. That's the reason I even got the invite I was allowed to come there in the first place, because they knew I was doing good and I was actually able to come and be with them. But it's the unspoken words, it's the release of these words that give us that power back, that strength, and it's like, it's so freeing. I'll tell you that. And if it wasn't for recovery, I wouldn't be able to bring that to anybody in my family. It doesn't matter if they're in my home or out of my home, they're still family. Even my friends, man, bringing the people around me home recovery. You know what I mean? It's like home is where you make it. No. That reminds me of what is that? Happy Gilmore? No. What is that? You want to see homos naked? Sorry. I don't know what I said. I always get the Billy Madison and the Adam Sandler movies in my head. But it was cool. It was cool. And that's what it's about, It's the people that I interact with every day, seeing the real me, experiencing the real me, and then also being freaking nice and not being a punk, just living the best I can, doing the best I can, and then actually treating people around me with dignity and respect, and living through with integrity, man, because that's what this recovery deal is about. And I see Melissa in the comments. Hey, Melissa, and I got to go see her too, which was really freaking awesome. Go hang out with her and see her hood. It was pretty cool. But yeah, that's what we're doing in here in these rooms. It's not anything but trying to be better people and bringing it out here to the people that we've hurt the most. That way we can make those amends and do the things we really want to do, and not be a punk anymore. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah. Another cool thing, Justin, is
you're still a punk. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Punk you.
The other cool thing is how I've seen the most impossible home situations completely transformed, and families reunited, and fathers and mothers back with their kids, and relationships mended, like Jimmy, Justin, this guy, man, that we helped out, and just hasn't talked to his kids in years, man, and it's funny, once you prioritize this recovery, just God moves the pieces, man. And it doesn't happen on our time, but I've just seen the greatest miracles, and like homes just rebuilt, and, it's a beautiful thing to be a part of and to witness.
Definitely. It is the most beautiful thing to witness another person getting their stuff together. That is the hope shot. Seeing somebody with the lights turn back on, they finally get in a deal, right? And they start getting the gifts of recovery. I've seen it. I mean, I see it all the time. That's what keeps us motivated and keeps us going. If we didn't see the miracles, well, we think it's full of shit, right? And we just go back out to where we were, because there is no, what's the hope? Where's the hope, right? Caesar unmuted for something. I was waiting.
Oh, no, I thought you were going to read some comments, so I didn't want to interrupt.
I'm going to, but you can.
Yeah, read Justices. It's really nice.
Oh, where are we at? I will. It's the only thing I know how to do. Love you, dude.
So good.
It is good.
So good.
Let's see. Caesar. Yes, Caesar. Crystal and I go through the same conversations. Definitely must. And we got my sister. Kamaya says, hey, Uncle Justin, we love you. I love you too. You guys just chilling and relaxing, acting all cool. Just shooting some people out, some fools. She's trying to talk to you through the phone. Oh Lord. No, you didn't just Joe Dirt that.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes,
You know, Will. It got to a little bit too much, so we had to bring it back. You know what I mean? You bring it back to a movie phrase. We got Melissa says you also visit Sober Now this Christmas, spending time with friends and family, opening my eyes that being present with them is so important. This year, I'm making it a point to be more present, a shift in my totem pole of priorities. Yes. That's it. You know, I actually just did something today and posted something about being present, distractions of life. Oh, we should have done something like that too. Distractions of life, the all the noises around us that can take our attention away from being totally present in what's going on around us or where we need to be, our attention, especially when you're home, right? How hard is it to put things down? Put work away.
Backgrounds totally pull your attention away from stuff. And
anyways, what is he talking about? Why is he? Who are we? All right, that's it, folks. Thanks.
And then,
here, just go to the river, man.
You can't wash me away.
I'm gonna wash you away.
Social media is a distraction. Times you could be connecting with your partner, you could be connecting with your kids, and we hold our phones and we stare at them. I mean, there's so many different things, but circling back to making it like a recovery deal is what better place to practice the principles of whatever fellowship you're in than in the four walls of your home. Like that should be the most precious spot. Your kids, your family. I don't care if you live by yourself or with a roommate, that's your sanctuary. That's where you should be putting these things into play. Even if it's daily habits, waking up early, getting into some reading, taking the time to do some gratitude, all these practices in your home will make you better outside of those four walls too. So, I mean, it's our place of comfort, but we can't get so comfortable that we forget there's other people in this house, if that makes any sense. And, Nathan hit it earlier, like this whole thing's about relationships. It's about how we interact with the people in our lives on a daily basis, our relationship with our higher power, our relationship with everybody that we come into contact. Are we making things better by being there, or are we making things worse by being there? And I don't want to make things worse, especially for my family.
Yeah, I'm really good at making things worse. I need to do something different.
I went pro years ago, son.
Yeah, retired early,
Mm-hmm. They had to take me out the game. My stats were too good.
Didn't make the playoffs. No.
I won the Super Bowl 4 times, bro. No, but I mean, seriously, like from where we come from, I'm trying to bring it down to a level. Like if you're new and you're watching this, it's the pile of BS seems insurmountable. Like if you're new and you're coming into this and you're living with, I don't care, your parents, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, you feel like you can never earn the trust back. You feel like you're going to be looked at the same way for all these years of bad decisions and all these things, but it's not the way it is. You can change other people's perceptions with your actions, but it's only through your actions. Your words are absolutely meaningless when you're new in recovery, because we've all said so much BS and excuses and I'm sorry's and never backed it up with any action. The actions, day in, day out, consistent quality actions are what changes people's perceptions.
Yeah. Sometimes the greatest amends you can make in your home is just by showing up consistently.
Yeah.
Just showing up,
authentically.
And yeah.
It is, because we were always gone. That's how do you amend? It's changed behavior. So if my behavior was never being there, then my changed behavior damn well better be showing up for the family.
Yeah, and like just
out here relapsing on LSD with these backgrounds.
Listen,
I'm a flashback, man.
Listen, I'm trying to trance people into listening and taking stuff. You're gonna listen to us.
You're getting sleepy.
But it's like just like you know, and how like I was talking about, you know, wanting to share this gift of recovery with my mom, and she passes while I'm still in treatment. So, and Justin, you kind of touched on it. You say you can't make an amends, but you already have. You know, you make an amends every day by being a good father, by, you know, showing up for your dad, by making those amends to her side of the family. Like I never thought that when my mom passed, I'm like, oh, I felt so bad, man. I felt horrible, right? And what I've discovered through the years is that every time I go see my dad, every time I help him out, every time I, you know, take the time to, you know, spend time with him and just love on him, you know, it's I am making that amends to my mom. When I'm, you know, connecting with my brother, it's when I'm, because it's how I show up in my daily life with those that are closest to me. That's like Caesar was saying, that's the greatest amends I can ever possibly make. It has nothing to do with money or paying somebody back. It has to do with amended behavior and giving back to a situation I used to take so much from.
Backgrounds too.
We've lost Justin to the dark side. We can't get him back. He's got buttons to press and things to play with, and
it's been a while. Listen, in my defense, it's been a while since we on here, and they have new features. I can't help myself. I didn't have time to play with it before I got on here, and there's new features. What am I supposed to do?
That's it. So look, Steve, there it is. We make amends by not repeating the behaviors we needed to make amends for. There's a nice, simple explanation. The best amends is changed behavior, period. So if I'm walking in the door an a-hole on a daily basis and I want to amend that situation, then I need to walk in the door with a smile on my face and see what I can do for my family, not what they can do for me.
Yeah. How do I fill somebody else's cup? Not how, please fill my cup. You know, it's being able to be of service to the people around me. You know, that's what I think is so important. I think one thing that we miss, you know, when we're in these recovery deals is getting service commitments and what that really means, you know, and how we can bring it out to our families and the people around us, because that's what it's all about. And in the turn fills our cups, you know, doing things for being non-selfish fills my cup, you know. How can I better serve my family, better serve my friends, you know? But families first, you know, always. Bless you.
I tried to get to the mute. I couldn't make it.
You know, we can twist anything. We can twist anything. So like having a service commitment is so good and so important, but for the right reasons. Having 5 service commitments is 100% ego. You know what I mean? Like we can overdo anything. That's the kind of people we are. Oh man,
backgrounds and all.
You know what makes me feel good? When people tell me like, man, you're such a good guy. I'm going to get 5 service commitments and I'm going to be at all of them. So they see that I'm a super good guy. And then all of a sudden you went from being a good guy that's of service and trying to help people, and you became an egomaniac and you just want your face out there in front of everybody. It's like we have these deep conversations at our Monday night meeting talking about intentions, and that's what it all comes down to. What's my intention? Is it to help people? Well, cool. Then that's a good intention. Is it me being seen helping people? That's not a good intention. You know, it's the YouTuber that's out there filming himself handing out a cheeseburger. Oh, yeah. Are you a good guy, or did you just want views? You just wanted views. It's sad. So it's, you know, I know we're talking about practicing the principles at home, but everything that we do comes down to intentions. That's why it's to thine own self be true. You know what you're in it for, you know, so if your intention is to make your family life better, then do that. Absolutely do that. And try making little changes when you walk in the front door. You know, I know, Justin, you're like me. You're wrecked by the end of the day when you're getting home. So it's like, I started parking my truck and just sitting there and kind of having a reset moment before I walk in the door, so I don't drag the negativity of the day into my house.
Like a damn ball and chain.
Yeah, you're out slinging drywall all day long, plus getting on Zoom meetings and this and that, and yeah, you're fried. And I get it. So am I. But
that's why I do backgrounds during freaking, our podcast, because I don't have time. All right, I'm done doing that. But
I'm done with the backgrounds.
I'm done. All right. But like they say, Caesar, he says, home is where you make it.
You're a mess today, brother. Well, I think we've beat this dead horse.
We've lost Justin
down to the ground. I just want to say, your sister's on here. You were of service all through the storm, and you are absolutely killing it. And I just want to say thank you from my family for all the moves you made during the storm. And I am so glad that you're enjoying the gifts of recovery, because you're definitely putting the work in to deserve them.
Mm-hmm.
You're a badass.
That's right. Gifts of recovery. All right. Well, hope you guys had a great show. Hope you guys got something out of this. Sorry, I was distracted. Must have been the internet went down. I think that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
No. But, what better way to start off by messing around the first thing on the new year, right? But hey guys, we're gonna be back rolling, every week. We're gonna get this thing back rolling. We're gonna have some stories this year. We're gonna get the stories back going. Not on Wednesdays. We're gonna do it on Sundays. We're gonna throw some stories in at least once a month, at least, so we can start getting people's stories out there and do some cool stuff this year. So
if you would like to tell your story on the Hope Shot and be the next Addiction to Success, please send us a message,
or
check you out, or
if you want to be a guest on a Sunday Night Live with us, hit us up. I know Rudolph does.
All the help we can get.
Yep, and Steve, I know we're gonna wrap him in.
Yeah,
we got to get Rachel in. Let's see who else we got. Oh, Melissa. I see Melissa, the other Melissa. Let's see. We got a bunch of people in here.
Hey, we can get your sister on here if she would do it.
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
Get Katie up in here.
Let's do this. Yeah. So, hey, man, I hope you guys have a great week, and let's take this week and figure out how we can bring more recovery to the house, bring it to home, and figure out how we can be of service to the people that are in our home. Is this something that's been kind of clouding us because we just got back into work this week or last week for 2 days, and it's been clouding us, and we need to, take the step back and breathe a little bit and get back into some spiritual practices, maybe like I do. Stop playing with backgrounds. I don't know. We'll see. But, everybody's been a little off. So let's get back into this week, man. It's the first full week of 2025. Let's make it happen, Captain. Okay. All right, y'all. We love you, and we will see you next week here on Hope Shot. Peace.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Okay.
There we go. Balloons.